2, 1.
All right, Kia ora, good morning. Welcome to the program. Great to have your company this morning. Welcome along. I'm Duncan, Garner, and kick off this morning with the ambulance driver Joe, who shares his story from the Frontline. St John's ambulance officers, they're on strike. They have been for weeks, and Joe tells us firsthand why they're fighting for better pay and conditions. I find it embarrassing, actually, to live in a country where we pay these people so badly. Yeah, firefighters, our cops, our emergency workers. Why do we do so badly on this front? So we'll look at that. Try their job for size and see if you like it or not. And have you been laid lately? Who wrote that? Have you been laid lately? We look at speed dating. You're fed up with swiping left and right and getting nowhere, so we'll look at speed dating. It's taking off in the Bay of Plenty. Grace, don't look so interested. Jump on YouTube, TikTok, leave us a comment right now. Here's the news with Deputy News Editor Grace Cocker.
The lead investigator in the Yanfei Bao disappearance says it plays on her mind every day. It's a year since the Christchurch realtor disappeared. A man has been charged with her murder. Detective Inspector Nicola Reeves told MediaWorks News it's frustrating.
To not have found Yanfei. I certainly think about this every single day, and we are very determined to find her and bring her home.
Police are treating the death of a person in South Auckland as unexplained. A scene guard is in place at the Bari Lane home in Mangere East. Auckland woman Patricia Mackay will be farewelled today. She was killed after being struck by a car during a robbery outside a California mall earlier this month. A service will be held at St Patrick's Cathedral in the CBD, followed by a wake at Eden Park. The push to force Joe Biden out of the US presidential race has escalated, with speculation he could be gone by the weekend. Barack Obama has told allies the president's path to victory has significantly shrunk and he needs to reconsider his viability. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also told Biden that he cannot defeat Donald Trump. Speaking of Donald Trump, he will address millions of Americans today when he officially accepts the Republican presidential nod. And the former president's injured ear has inspired a fashion trend at the Republic Convention, with delegates wearing bandages in a show of solidarity. To sport a potential bombshell Super Rugby transfer for All Blacks number 8, Ardie Savea, he's set to move from the Hurricanes to Moana Pasifika next year, according to the Herald. Meanwhile, Ethan Blackadder is starting alongside Savea at openside flanker in tomorrow's test against Fiji in San Diego.
No way we're taking this Fiji side lightly. We're expecting a tough one and we've prepared accordingly.
And in the NRL, the 12th place Warriors return from their bye to face the 11th place Raiders in Canberra tonight. Kickoffs at 10. That's news and sport.
Thanks, Grace. That's really big news, actually, Ardie Savea. If it's true, and my understanding is through top-level sources that, it is. So,
I know nothing about sports.
Through and through. Okay, well, tell me about this.
You can save that for your JD chat.
Okay, help me out with this then. Yesterday I'm in St Luke's in the mall, okay? And there's an incident where these two guys start going at each other, accusing one another of breaking and entering the house. Oh. Suddenly, there's a big meeting, and everyone comes around with their phones. No one intervenes. The banks bring down it was right outside the Kiwi Bank and the ASB, so they bring down their roller doors really quickly because they're scared.
That makes sense.
Lots of kids around.
School holidays.
Yeah, so everyone's scared. A woman intervenes. I thought, I better do something, but not be so useless here. So I walk over. Security guards aren't there, no police. I walk over, tell them to F off. Take it outside, there's people scared.
Yeah.
F off. They clearly got mental health issues or something's going on here. And they finally take it to the door, but after a big meeting, and the security guards are standing there, they can't do anything. It's a hopeless case, isn't it? Do you intervene?
Well, first of all, I have to say I hate when people bring out the cell phones instead of maybe running to get help or avoiding the situation, because then if you get injured and you're a bystander and you're recording, it's kind of your fault at that point. Like it's that, you whip out your phone, you're now in the middle of a melee, you're now in the middle of a fight.
It's the first thing
you could have just backed away.
Yep.
And it just really annoys me.
So
I
do you intervene though?
Would I intervene? It would be circumstantial. Probably not in that case,
but
because a lot of the time...
Split second, make a decision.
Split second. Oh, I do get feisty.
Yeah. Well, this woman was feisty. She was doing well, but I thought I better not stand here and be useless.
But again, in saying that, if I got punched in the face, it wouldn't be great.
What do you do, folks? You let us know. 0800 863 293, or leave a comment on YouTube or wherever you're watching this or listening to this. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Kayla, would you intervene? Would you get involved? It's a line call right on the spot, mate. Got to make it on the spot. No? Yes. His mic's gone. That's okay. I think just give me a nod or yes or no. Just give me something.
Hello.
There
we go. We're alive.
I think that's how long it took for people to intervene yesterday.
Yes, my dad intervened in a mass brawl once by a roundabout in Gisborne. It was over an ice cream hitting a car, and two cars stopped at a roundabout together, and this guy with the most magnificent ginger mullet got out and started throwing haymakers at the other car, and then they started getting into like a Gallipoli style
Pretty confronting.
war where they were throwing from behind the cars full Steinlager bottles.
Oh my
And then
this is Gisborne, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, and then the woman who was driving the other car gets out and starts laying into the guy with the red mullet. And so my dad goes in there and grabs the guy with the red mullet out, but then all these others start getting it.
Oh, you
and
see,
then
you
Dad's
buy
like,
yourself
oh, well,
trouble.
I'm a lost cause. But then bearing in mind this is Gisborne, then the owner of the appliance store next door comes out and grabs them all and then lines them up against the wall and
really?
tells them off and shit, and then the police
So
come in.
What's your answer? Would you get involved?
In Gisborne they intervene,
Yeah.
but in St. Luke's Mall they're not.
They're not, and their first instinct for all
I
these people
would.
was to bring out their phones.
My first instinct would be to
Swing.
well, no, I don't think I'd use violence. I'd probably use words, but then
Yeah,
it'd
I
probably be
used words.
useless.
Yeah, but I used words and I don't even think they heard me. But they were listening to the woman. Maybe the woman more effective. I don't know. Tell us what you think. Would you get involved? Because it's going to happen at some stage. Probably, the way society is these days. Leave us a comment or tell us what your thoughts are.
Garner.
Okay, so paramedics and other skilled frontline workers from St John are moving to Australia for better pay and working conditions. It's happening with the police as well. You've seen it right across the board. But right now, St John ambulance officers are on strike. They have been for weeks, and there's no end in sight. The budget was a flop for them. There was nothing in there, not a new dollar or any solution allocated. They're there for us, these guys, when we need them. They're always there. Their job is high stress, high stakes, long hours, and not well paid. So isn't it time that we prioritise them as the life-saving workforce that they are and tried to keep them from crossing the ditch and tried to make sure that they had some dignity in their work and their conditions. Joe Huxford is an EMT or an emergency medical specialist for St John, and he wanted to share his personal experience of life on the front line and how it is for him. Joe is speaking in a personal capacity as he heads to work each day, and of course they're striking too. So g'day, Joe, nice to have you on the program. G'day, good morning.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's things for you out there?
Good, yeah, somewhat busy.
Yeah. So so how long has the strike been going on for?
It's been going on since December last year.
And so how's that playing out?
It's not really progressing. So far we've had a 0% pay increase, and at the moment we're just literally fighting to get our heads above inflation, which we're still not achieving anyway.
Right. So tell me, how's
yeah.
the strike working? How is the strike working? Are you going to work?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the last thing we want to do is further compromise the services that are already it's already happening as it plays out. So what we're doing is we're wearing badges. I did have mine somewhere. We're basically wearing badges that say underfunded, undervalued. We are chalking on our ambulances. It's writing messages to the public. There's a few other things that we're doing to do with our radio codes, essentially, which make it more difficult for patients to be billed.
This is a similar.
All of this is,
It's a similar strategy, isn't it? Sorry to interrupt. It's a similar strategy to the fire service when they were getting upset about their paying conditions. And we spoke to Steve Devine, who's a firefighter at the time. I think it changed the game actually. But they were writing on their stations, help us, toot for support, and that sort of thing. And that's what it's come down to. It's almost like a give a little campaign without the money.
Yeah, it's a bit scary that it's come to this for an emergency service, which is literally life or death. We're just trying to build some public awareness about what's actually going on, and to get some support behind us and create some pressure to both St John senior management and the government that we just need more funding. Like, it's common sense. So
what are you missing out on? What are you? What's your level of pay? Let's get down to some nitty gritty. What's the pay? What are the hours like? What are the conditions like? Let's talk about it.
So the pay for me personally is the main thing. The starting rate for someone on a year one emergency medical technician wage is about 65,000 per year, which is not a lot. We work a 48-hour week, and the conditions are kind of as each day plays out. Really, we don't know what we're going to get, but we are faced with things that you probably shouldn't see every day.
Okay, so you're paid 65 for that. That's about 8,000 below the starting wage for a police officer. So there's if you're likening yourself to a police officer in year one, well, day one, you're $8,000 behind to start with. There's your problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, again, 0% pay increase. Forgive me, I've got some notes here. But since 2011, the EMT starting wage has only increased by 3.3 grand. So it used to be about 57,000 in 2011, 13 years ago, and it's only risen that much. And inflation has way surpassed that by now.
Well, it's actually gone backwards. I mean, the way an economist would look at your salary increase of $3,300 over this time, in real terms, given the rate of inflation, which topped out at 7.3% 2 years ago, and it's been like that for 2 years, you've gone backwards. You've gone hideously backwards.
Yes. And I mean, it's really tight at home. We are quite often looking at a budget for our spending at home. We've got a family of 5. We've got a mortgage, all the same stuff that everyone else does. I'm clearly not in this for the money. I love the job, and I love being able to help people on the worst day of their life. And I love that we've got quite a lot behind us that we can actually do for someone. But it's getting to the point where now I am in my second year of my paramedicine degree, and I'm wondering if it's a viable career going through with St. John.
Have you got a student loan?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've only just started it now because we couldn't afford to pay the student loan.
So how much are you paying for your degree?
All up, it's around about 17,000, and I just pay week by week.
No, this is wrong. This doesn't make sense at all. This is we've been spending money in the wrong areas. And how many lives have you saved, do you reckon? Have a general sort of guesstimate at how many lives you've saved.
Gosh, with the flow-on effect, I reckon I've been at it for 6 years. Easily 100.
Oh dear.
Of actual lives, life-saving interventions.
In that 6 years,
easily 100.
Okay, in that you've possibly saved 100 lives, and in that 6 years, have you been on $65,000 all that time?
It was less than that before. I was in a different role. I was in the patient transfer role, which is another operational role where patients are transferred from hospital to hospital in an ambulance setting, and that was less of a pay. So, yeah.
This is actually worse than I thought. This is worse than I thought. I mean, I always knew that there's an issue with pay. And what about the conditions then? So you're doing 48 hours a week. Is that a minimum, or is it more than that?
That's our rostered. We do 12 hours a day, and we do 4 days on, and that's just the scheduled hours. Like, for example, last week I did a 15-hour shift, and that was just to do with things beyond our control. It's sometimes does happen, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the minimum.
So the minimum wage is in New Zealand is now about 50 grand, okay? Because it got pushed up quite extensively over the last 6 years, and that's a 40-hour week. Okay, for 50 grand. So you are, if you're doing those hours, a quick back of the envelope would suggest to me that you're actually earning for those hours under the New Zealand minimum legal wage.
Yeah, I mean, our pay each year, it goes up by a very, very small percentage. I think, I had a little mini celebration this year because I finally cracked the $30 an hour mark. And I sort of kind of thought, well, for the type of work that we do, I feel like I should be paid a bit more than that. There are people that I work with that are on less than that. So
yeah, I'm really sorry and embarrassed about this. To be honest, not just as a journalist, as a New Zealander, you're scraping people off the road. You're keeping them alive. You're pulling them down from all sorts of things.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Well, I mean, how does this resolve itself?
Well, I really hope that it's going to, with the pressure of this round of striking, I hope that the pressure is finally going to make the senior management and the government, give us a bit more money, or stop being a charity and become fully funded and end this nonsense.
Well, that's the answer. That's the answer. The answer is to fully fund you and get this nonsense out of the way that we somehow have to shake the bucket, for 3 months of the year to get you across the line.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's like I said before, it's an emergency service. It should not be a charity. The operational side, at least, should not be a charity. And I don't really understand why it still is.
Yeah. Hey, look, we better kick on, but we appreciate your time on the program. Keep fighting. Keep in touch with us as well, because it's a national embarrassment what's going on, and I'm glad you've fronted up and talking about it from your personal perspective.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All the best, mate. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.
Garner.
What an embarrassment. Leave us a comment on YouTube, on TikTok, wherever you are. Flick us your views on that. 65 grand, and you've saved 100 lives, and your pay's gone up $3,000 in the last 12 years. I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed. There's no other way to describe it. Fully fund the buggers and do it properly. Right, let's talk sport now. Johnny Day, I think this might be Johnny's last day, actually, before he's off into the wilderness. I think you've ordered a child for tomorrow, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. This time tomorrow I'll be in North Shore Hospital with my beautiful partner, and yeah, it'll be caesarean time.
So isn't it great? I mean, I love this. So 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock tomorrow. You know,
a lot different from the first one.
Yeah,
when she was in labour for 32 hours and then got a caesarean. So this time we're like, cut out that 32 hours and just go straight in there.
Are you nervous?
Oh, yeah, very nervous, because you completely forget what happened first time. It's been 4 years since the boy first turned up, and now a girl turning up. It's like, what do I do again?
Yeah.
Just whatever I'm told, I think, Duncan, is
why are we doing
what
this
I
again
do.
for, you say to yourself when you're walking down the corridor?
So let's talk about sport, just to ease my mind from all this drama that's about to come into my life. We've got an All Blacks test tomorrow at 2:30, which is a great time. I won't be able to watch it, but I'm sure all these young boys will be so excited. I mean, a lot of these people, I reckon a lot of New Zealanders will be like, who's he? Who's George Bell? Yeah, who's Sam Darry?
George Bell's a Canterbury hooker?
Yep, he is.
Yep.
Pasaleo Tosi.
Yeah,
you know?
and he's the big boy from Hurricanes.
Yeah, and he was the big, bolter when they first named the squad, so that's cool.
I'm excited, JD.
Yeah, Noah Hotham, who wasn't even in the squad, 20-year-old from Tasman, he's going to get a debut off the bench. It is exciting, you know?
Yeah, because during the Hansen regime, which lasted with Henry, and lasted, say, 15 years or whatever, it was really well signalled, this stuff. They brought in lots of players, but they were well established.
Yeah.
This is the first time, in I reckon 20 years, that we've seen genuine baby blacks.
Yeah.
Like the 1986 game.
Yeah, and didn't they go well? Ended up winning a World Cup a year later. So very exciting tomorrow at 2:30. And Liam Napier from the Herald's got a ripper story this morning. He's saying Ardie Savea moving from the Hurricanes to Moana Pasifika.
Now, but this guy bleeds yellow.
He does.
You know?
He does, but he also bleeds blue in terms of being Samoan and a very proud Samoan, especially recently, where he's kind of rediscovered his roots. His brother Julian, of course, plays for Moana, and they're coached by Tana Umanga, one of the greatest All Black / Samoans that's ever played the game. So it makes a lot of sense for Ardie to come up to Auckland to play as Super Rugby, just to tick that box, I think.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's a bolter of a story, and from what I understand through my rugby sources, it's all bang on true.
Yeah, it'll be legit for sure. And the Hurricanes showed this year that they don't necessarily need Ardie Savea. While they would love to have him World Rugby Player of the Year, there is life without Ardie, because they were bloody good. They should have finished top of Super Rugby, really.
Yeah, I understand if they go in the twilight of their career, like Julian, right? Julian Savea's brother. He's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Ardie's in the second part of his career, but he's not over yet.
Well, mate, he's the best player in the world.
Oh, exactly.
He's 30 years old. He's got another World Cup cycle in him, so definitely not a spent force. And Moana needs this. This is the team that everyone's forgotten about. New Zealand Rugby took charge of it, and we all knew when that happened.
It was over.
They were just exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They don't care.
Yeah.
So for Ardie, just to show that he cares about Pasifika Rugby, to move to Moana would be amazing.
Hey, is there any interest in America in the game?
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah, exactly.
There never is.
No.
Yeah, so I don't know why they go there. Maybe just so Adidas can parade them around. I've got no idea, Duncan. This game should be on Saturday afternoon in New Zealand.
Yeah, or Toka or something.
Yeah,
Take it
in
to
Fiji. Well, we're bloody lose to them over there, Duncan, looking at their Super Rugby team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What else is on?
We've got the Wars tonight.
Yeah,
they're back from their bye. They're playing the Raiders in Canberra. So it's going to be freezing cold. It's 10 o'clock tonight, and Mitch Barnett is going to back up after he was awesome on debut for New South Wales in Origin.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, and Luke Capewell will be back as well. This is pretty much must win. Warriors, 3 points outside the top 8, 7 games to go. Raiders are 1 point above them. You've got to start beating the teams above you.
It's tight, isn't it? So
Real
I
tight.
know they're outside of it, but they're actually close to it as well.
Yeah, for sure. It can all turn around. If they string together 2-3 wins, they can just edge towards that top 8 again. But lose tonight, and it could get out your calculators. It could be that time of the season already.
Yes, it's the Warriors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
What else is happening?
The Open Championship is happening right now. Kazuma Kobori is a young Kiwi golfer who was an amateur last year, became pro this year. He has 1 over par through 15 holes, which is a bloody good score, because only 15 golfers are under par today. Tiger Woods, 8 over, Rory McIlroy, 7 over. Kazuma Kobori, 1 over. Sounds good now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Rory McIlroy, he's struggling after his recent loss. He's struggling because he doesn't think he should have lost, you see.
Yeah, had the meltdown at the US Open and just mentally couldn't really return from it. Now he's had another meltdown, this time in the first round. Maybe that'll just ease his nerves and he can play better for the rest of the tournament. But Ryan Fox, 2 over. Michael Hendry, who's an amazing story, had leukemia, missed the tournament last year, 3 over par, and Daniel Hillier, 5 over, and might struggle to make the cut.
This is interesting, yeah. We've got good golfers, we've got good tennis players at the moment.
Yeah, man, it's good.
How's the White Ferns looking?
Yeah, bad.
Hey?
Really bad. And yeah, Ben Sawyer is their coach. He's facing the music in 10 minutes' time. We've got a Zoom with him. They went to England and they lost all 8 of their games. And this team has just been on struggle street for so long. Couldn't even make the semi-finals of their own World Cup a few years ago. This Aussie coach was supposed to come in and make us play like the Aussies.
You deport him.
But we don't.
Yeah.
We play shit every game. And I just want to put them under the blowtorch.
We've gone backwards
this morning. And we've taken a batter on this tour, Michaela Gregg. Didn't even give her a game.
Yeah.
So we lost all 8 games and we're not even blooding anyone new. It's Sophie Devine, it's Susie Bates, and it's Mealy Kerr, and it's no one else. So this team needs to shape up, or Sawyer needs to ship out.
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll deport him.
Exactly. 7 days out too from the Olympics,
Yeah.
which is pretty exciting. 195 Kiwis competing in Paris, and they've put up a fence around the Seine.
Oh.
So unless you've got a QR code, you can't get in to the River Seine because they're worried about terrorism, of course.
Who's our biggest hope? Who's the big white hope? Or who is it?
Oh, it's our ladies. It's always our ladies. It is Lisa Carrington.
Yep.
Of course, it is Elise Andrews on her bike.
Yep.
She is a great up-and-coming sprinter in the velodrome. It is our women's sevens team. Our men's sevens are first underway on Thursday next week.
And rowers?
And we've always got rowers.
Yeah.
Twiggy and the team. It's her 5th Olympics. She is such a weapon from Hawke's Bay, of course, won gold
Olympics.
in Tokyo 3 years ago. 5th Olympics in the single sculls in rowing.
That's 20 years of...
Just
Is that right?
giving
Yeah.
your life to rowing, which is just quite incredible.
Who has to do... Brian Lima did. I think he did 4 or 5 World Cups, but...
The chiropractor,
Yeah.
And I think Mark Todd did several Olympics, 5, 6.
That's a curly one.
Even.
That's a curly one.
I'll leave you with that curly one.
Hey, from the team of the editor-in-chief, go well, mate. All the very
I
best.
appreciate it. And as well, shout out to my news team this morning. The ladies, Grace and Courtney, made me cheese on toast.
Oh, that's nice,
for
isn't it?
breakfast. Very nice.
It goes downhill from here, okay? Good on you, mate. Thanks, JD. All the best, mate. And good luck tomorrow. Good luck. You won't need it, but good luck.
Garner.
Okay.
3 questions from the editor-in-chief.
Yeah, 3 questions. Here we go. And number 1, is it fair that Sky City must close for 5 days? 5 days. This is a penalty, a forced closure. And quite frankly, I'm surprised this hasn't happened earlier. And more often, sure, their people keep an eye on punters, but really, how hard do they really push it? Their job is to keep you there, spending as much as possible for as long as possible, okay? That's their job. 5 days is a crushing financial blow, though. 5 days, you close the entire place, the entire casino. But it's been a long time coming, and frankly, it could have happened 10 times over if the rules were applied properly, I reckon. Right, let's go 2. At number 2, how open and honest has this government been about its approach to make smoking great again? You can see the hats, can't you? I smell a giant rat with this. This government's approach to overturn the smoke-free legislation, which has been 15 years of hard graft agreed by, all the parties across Parliament until now. And over the past 24 hours, without any hoopla or whiz-bang, any announcement at all, Casey Costello, the Minister to make smoking great again, cuts the excise tax on heated tobacco. So it cuts it in half, a 50% tax break or tax cut for the companies that produce this stuff. These are the e-cigarettes. These tobacco companies can barely believe their luck. Suddenly, they have friends in high places, and I wonder just how much that's cost them. Is this cash for policy changes? No one knows that, yet you can't say it. But it seems simply too good to be true for big tobacco. They woke up one day and suddenly they had the government on their side, an entire government was on their side. When for years the general consensus was, no, we're going against you. They're the bad guys and smoking kills. I'm gobsmacked at how they got this government suddenly and so quickly on their side. And cutting excise tax and telling no one about it, that seems a bit sneaky. These things don't just happen, do they? Well, that one did. It really did.
3.
And number 3, are dating apps all that? Are they the thing? COVID forced the world to hook up online, but the world is fast pulling the finger at dating apps, saying, well, it leaves you empty, feeling empty and lonely. 50% of under 40-year-olds have reported feeling unsatisfied with dating apps and have voted with their feet to meet people, not online, but in person. Hang on, the 90s is back. It's on its way back. Meet in a bar, have a chat, have a dance. Is that us? People meeting people is back. What an astonishing development. Put down your phones, folks, There's shit going on worth experiencing. Try it. We've become lost up our own digital backsides, haven't we? Start living again, folks, and just see what's out there.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, 12th of September 2012. That was the date that Tinder was launched. Now, these days, the number of people using online dating services surpassed 381 million. God, that's a massive figure. Miranda, that's huge. 381 million people on dating apps. So there's options for you there. But have these apps changed the way that we do romance for the better? Or are they just booty calls? Pick-up services. Bay of Plenty Singleton, Matt Cobb, isn't impressed. He got tired of swiping right and only for the match to swipe left. So 3 months ago, the entrepreneur launched speed dating events at Mount Maunganui through his community events business. Which is called Whatever Company. Now, you get 3 minutes with a prospective date. Yay or nay, after 3 minutes you'll know. And he joins me now. Sir, nice to have you on the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Awesome.
So how's it been going? Any luck? What's been going on?
Yeah, it's been pretty great when it comes to the events. The first few events we had quite a good turnout. It's been hit and miss a few times just with getting the even numbers and the ratio between men and women. We've had to actually cancel a few times or just postpone it, but apart from that, it's been awesome. People have loved it. So
how does it work then? So let's say I'm coming to one tonight. Let's say, just say, how would it work?
How it works is you sign up before you actually come through, so we know numbers, etc. And then you just come through and we line you up, sit you down at tables. The ladies stay where they are, men move.
Oh, yeah.
And we just set you up on 3-minute dates. Yeah, they go consecutively with a few breaks in between. And you have like a little sheet that has yes or no on it with your date's name. And at the end, you privately hand that in to me at the moment. And we do all the matching afterwards. Yeah.
You're getting lots of information then, aren't you? You're getting lots of, you got the intel.
Yeah, all the marking.
Yeah, you got the marking going on. And how's the homework looking? I mean, are many people going past the 3 minutes and going on for a date and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so depending on the size of the night, we extend the time. So sometimes there is some good conversation flowing, so we'll add a minute or two on. But a lot of the time we try to combat talking fatigue, introducing yourself, 10 times in a row to 10 different people can get quite tiresome. So just working on ways to create different prompts and more fun ways to actually get to know each other instead of making it feel like an interview. Yeah.
So I wonder if you bring a buzzer in or something like that. You know, you have after the 3 minutes, a red light comes up, and the first person to reject the other one, you whack it or something like that. You can have some fun with it. But in terms of is one sex dominating the other? Does a guy hop into the 3 minute chat and he sort of doesn't get a word in? The woman's out there yabbering away or nervous, or he's nervous and he talks too much. What's the sort of feedback you're getting?
Well, the feedback. I've had massive feedback on the female side. I mean, every single event that I've put up, the female side is sold out straight away.
Oh, really?
And definitely, the female side's more confident. More ladies, 30 in the 30+ group.
This is
really
encouraging.
Coming through and wanting to create a meaningful connection. And then it's really actually the guy side that is the struggle at the moment, getting more men involved.
See, they're lazy. They're at home still on the old swipe right stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
We can't be bothered. Come on, guys. We're outnumbered. There's a woman down there, decent woman, wanting potential relationships and dates and things, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think as well with the events, it's not even necessarily about the dating. Because I get feedback from everyone that comes. A lot of people that come through on the men's side, some of them haven't been on a date in, let's say, 8 years, 10 years, like one guy who came through. So really the speed dating wasn't necessarily to find someone, it was just to get himself back out there, because he was on the apps as well. He was sick of it, sick of paying the fees, getting nowhere with them, and he just wanted to sit down with someone from the opposite sex and just have a conversation.
Yeah, it's been 8 years. But what's your advice to blokes after 8 years of not dating? How do you help? What do you say to them?
Well, I'm no. You can ask. I'm not really an expert on the dating side, but I pretty much enjoy creating an environment where it can be made there.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. So how did you come up? What was your circumstance? Why did you go down this line?
So for the last year, for like my own personal health reasons, I've actually had to take time off work and focus on my family and myself. And this year, I sort of came over the curve, and I needed sort of something to work on. I saw it as an opportunity to do something that I actually wanted to do, and then having an events company that focused on creating connections within the community is something that I've always wanted to do. And then so I was talking with a friend of mine, Tracy, and she was helping me out with it. And she actually mentioned that she'd done a few speed dating events before. And at this time, I'd been on the apps because I'd been by myself and been not working. So I've been single for a while myself. So as soon as I heard that, it's like a bell clicked, and I'm like, I bet there's a ton of other people who are sick of the apps and actually just want to go and meet people.
They are. So have you met someone have you met someone by doing this?
No, so I've had to hop in a few times just to even out the ratios, but haven't really found anyone myself, and just more spent that time as feedback from patrons that are actually coming down.
When's your next gig? When's the next event?
The next event is on the 30th, and we're now teaming up with Mount RSA on the public side to actually as another venue for us to host them. And the next one after that will be at the Pizza Library again.
Because the reason I ask is I'm going to be in the Mount on the 2nd of August. That's a Saturday, I think. Yeah. But you've got nothing around there.
No, we're a couple of days too late, I think.
Yeah, I'm down there for the New Zealand Cheerleading Championships, the Bapeland Cheerleading Championships. Don't ask me why. I'm helping out. I'm helping out, front it, and do some,
Awesome. We are trying to move into more weekend times, but with venues and timings, and it being the busy period for a lot of hospo, it's hard to nail down sort of a venue to actually host it. How
do people get hold of you then? If people want to, I might have a few lonely blokes listening or watching this podcast that are quite keen to get involved, or women. How do they sign up, join up? What's the best way?
Easy, just Facebook or our website, whatevercompany.co.nz, and we have a whole bunch of other stuff coming now that this is sort of escalated to how it has, and we plan on launching actually our singles club soon.
Good luck. Yeah, it sounds really positive. Sounds positive, and it's a return to the old school. Meeting people face to face. Wow, how dramatic.
Yeah, I think with the apps, they've created a way for us to connect with more people in a disconnected way.
Yeah.
So it's done a bit of good in both directions.
Yeah, it's taken the humanity stuff out of it really, and just sort of become robots. Hey, all the best, mate. Nice to have a chat, and all the best. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Garner.
Yeah, interesting. Forrester, you got a girlfriend? Forrester? Has he fallen off his chair? Is he busy signing up?
I think he's fallen down the toilet.
Is he busy signing up? Forrester, what do you reckon of this as a young, cool person?
No, but we can't hear you, Forrester.
He doesn't want to talk to me.
I'll tell you what I reckon.
Okay, as a young, cool person yourself?
I actually celebrated 4 years with my girlfriend yesterday, who we met on Tinder.
Oh, did you?
So there we go. Go figure.
Well, it does work for some.
It does work for some, although there was a lot of trial and error beforehand.
Oh, well, that's natural.
With other people,
yes. Yes. Does Forrester have a view?
Forrester, do you have a view of some kind?
Yeah, the mic doesn't work.
The
mic doesn't work. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Well, we're working on that, though.
Do you know who will come after us after that? Colin Peacock. Because the mic doesn't work.
Technical. Yeah. We can have a look at him later. I'm interested by this. There's a bit of feedback's coming. Tooks has said to me, Duncan, my adult boys still do it the old-fashioned way. Hookups at the club rooms after footy. Yeah, well, that is old-fashioned. It's tried and true. Troy says to me, Dunk, you would clean up at the speed dates, all the women would want you. I know I didn't want to read that myself, but
whatever.
I think you need to. Oh, my mic's working.
Oh, your mic's working suddenly. Yeah. Oh, you had a voice.
I think you need to go to one of these, Duncan.
No. I'm serious.
Yeah, I know. We should make a video out of it.
Yeah, because I'm doing some work in a couple of weeks fronting the New Zealand Cheerleading Bapeland Championships. Yeah, the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? It's a real
Out of
thing.
all the people that confront the cheerleading.
I've been asked for years and turned them down because I've been busy, but I can no longer say no.
Fair enough.
Cheerleading is a sport now.
I think it's always been a sport.
It's a sport. Yeah,
we should get you cheerleading.
Piss off. Take a hike, mate. But I wouldn't mind going to these little 3-minute sort of catch-ups.
Yeah.
That could be really interesting. Would you go for it?
Yeah, I'd go. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does
I think you should do it, though.
Yeah, well, I've got a spare room in my car if you want to come with me that weekend.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for. Okay. Send us your comments, send us your views. It's all the details are on the screen there. Have a look. Tell us your thoughts.
It's the Slam Dunk.
Yeah, this is the Slam Dunk, and just when you need something to work, it doesn't. So let me talk to you about this. Slam Dunk today is about New Zealand superannuation. Now, New Zealand superannuation is called the pension, and we all get it, okay? I want to ask you, if you're under the age of 50, do you expect national superannuation? Do you expect it? The pension is about $1,000 a fortnight if you're a single person, no matter how rich or poor you are. You'll all get it. You can be the wealthiest New Zealander and still get the same as the dude down the road with absolutely nothing, okay? It's universal, and it's the biggest single cost that any New Zealand government faces every year. It's about $25 billion every year, and it goes up $2 billion, $2 billion, $2 billion, okay? So that's what it is. It's really expensive. It's bigger than all the other benefits put together. So you have all the other benefits in the world put together from the New Zealand government, and frankly, New Zealand Super is still bigger. Now, all of us get at age 65. That's despite the medical evidence that shows that we're healthier, we're working longer, we're working at 65, and the settings, I think, are now outdated. And the truth is it's no longer affordable in its current settings. So why don't we change it? Well, we've tried to change this before. Bill English tried to change it, and he got run out of town. John Key said he wouldn't mess with it, so he didn't. This was about trust, you see. Winston will pull your toenails off, one by one, if you try and mess with it while he's around. But we could save billions of dollars by slowly increasing the age of eligibility to, say, 67, like other countries have done. And so everybody over the age of 45 wouldn't feel it, because you'd still get it. But everyone under the age of 45 might have to work another 6 months longer, maybe a year longer, past the age of 65. It's the only way to be responsible and to acknowledge that this is a ballooning cost, in my view. We simply can't afford to be this nanny state where $50 billion every year, every budget, $50 billion goes out in welfare payments and super payments, out of a total of about $180 billion. It's not sustainable. It puts all the other things we want to do at risk, you see. Welfare payments, I think, have become a way of life for far too many New Zealanders, and maybe it's time to look at some time limits. That is controversial, but maybe why should working age people who are fit and ready to go still be able to claim a benefit years and years on when you go to work? I think we need some of the balls to look at this. And on super, we need to change the age of eligibility. All these things would secure the welfare system into the future. By throwing our heads in the sand and saying, oh no, we can't do this, is actually economically reckless, in my view. But it's food for thought. Let us know what you think.
Garner.
Okay, I want to wrap things up today by the plonker list. This is our new music. So what we'll do, not sure that's going to get me a date, the old jiggy with it. So we've got Darlene Turner. She's firmly entrenched. She's going nowhere. Totally in denial about her approach to politics in New Zealand, and the proof of that's been this week with the release of the report, which proves everything we've said and nothing that she said. So she stays there. I'd like to introduce Shane Jones. He should come into this. I don't know, mates at the dating service. So Shane Jones comes on here at some stage, okay? Because he rang the mining companies to see if they wanted to do some mining. They didn't ring him, he rang them. So we'll get a pen in here, eh? Have I got staff? Oh, yeah. Hey, this is Forrester. Forrester, thank you. Oh,
it's a red pen, so you can,
Yeah. Thanks, Forrester. The mic's working as well. Yeah? Thanks, Forrester. You got a green one. Tree falls in the forest, you wouldn't know he's there. So there we go. So Shane Jones, I'm going to drop Kiwi Rail. They've been battered enough. So Shane Jones can come in here for ringing the mining companies. Hey, Shane here. Would you like to go mining? See Shane? So Jonesy's on there. And I'd also like to bring in... Oh, you're going to have to... Well, I can change it later. Shane's on there. Dr. Cigaretti. Shane Retty? You know, because this government is going down the line of, the big excise tax cuts for e-cigarettes. So he goes on there. And also, Adrian Orr. He has stuck his oar into the New Zealand economy where it's not wanted, but he's there because he is not cutting interest rates yet, but the banks are, the big banks are. So they've already moved. They're not waiting for Adrian Orr to stick his oar in. It's all over. So he's too slow and he's brutalised the New Zealand economy, so he goes on there as well. Nobby Clark stays because he's a racist prat, and he goes like that. Oh, I think that's decent for now anyway. That's us. The weekend's coming. Thank you, folks, following the program. Thank you for your feedback as well. You've said to me, Duncan, agree with you. Means test it. Duncan, what do you do with the people you cut off? We cut off no one. We cut no one off. None of this. This is our policy. You're all welcome. We cut off no one. That's us. To my team, Zarina, Kalo, Miranda. It's Forrester, isn't it? Yeah, Forrester, here. Thank you so much for all the work you do. Really appreciate the hard work. Take care. Thanks for your feedback. I'm Duncan at rover.nz. To all of you, remember, life's no dress rehearsal. This is it. You're living in it. We live in a fantastic country. Get out and enjoy it. Take care. All the best.